Welcome to Brain Health Matters. I'm your host, Kate Kunkle, the founder of this series of courses, programs, books, and this podcast, all created to help you become healthier so your brain can become happier and stronger. Hello, everyone. Kate Kunkle here, and you're going to be very glad you joined us on Brain Health Matters today because we're going to do some laughing. Dave BERMAN is a laughter coach. He helps people have a better emotional experience of life by understanding their mental immune system and the nature of thought. Dave is also the creator and host of The Laughter Gym. Sounds like the kind of gym I could get into. Welcome, Dave.
Thank you, Kate. I appreciate you inviting me to talk about brain health.
But how did you become a laughter coach? Like when you were a kid, did you always dream of, I'm going to be a laughter coach when I grow up?
No, I guess it just is a natural evolution of the life that I've lived. I mean, I started as a coach in 2010, primarily with hypnosis and NLP and mindfulness. And at the same time, outside of work, I began to explore laughter yoga, and that very quickly was not enough for me. There was like a once a week, social laughter club in my town, but I quickly discovered that I wanted to explore laughter every day on a deeper level. And so personally, privately, I did, and then it just became part of my coaching practice. And I saw these parallels between laughter and hypnosis that became laughnosis. So my way of working with people as a coach just began to evolve. And then, that took me around the world. I ended up co-creating a training program that I taught all around the world. And I also found along the way what was originally called the 3 principles, and then kind of more colloquially called the inside out understanding. And then most recently, it's sort of taken on a name of subtractive psychology. And I saw, while I was on that world tour teaching laughnosis, that actually laughter was giving me all these insights about this inside out understanding, because we're laughing from the inside out. It was helping me see we're creating our entire experience and perception of life from the inside out as well. And so that led me to this much, much deeper dive. So I've long since left laughter yoga behind, kind of declared independence, moved on, and I've just been this sort of like independent laughter researcher and innovator. And I've found it so richly rewarding.
Laughnosis. I'm sure it is. What, like you said, laughnosis. So what does laughnosis? Is it something I could learn to do here in Ecuador? What is laughnosis?
Well, first of all, laughter is hypnotic. So being able to see that when we're laughing, especially on purpose, we're turning our attention inward. This is one of the sort of primary foundational aspects of the experience of hypnosis. It's turning attention inward, having a selective focus, narrowing what it is that you are perceiving, and then kind of everything else just fades from awareness. So the external fades from awareness, the internal becomes more illuminated. Right. It's the same way with laughter, especially if we just sit and laugh and know that it's coming from the inside out. Yeah. So I like to think of laughter as the sound of joyful breathing. This is sort of the jumping off point. Like we can just be laughed in the same way that we're being breathed all the time. The energy of the universe that allows you to keep breathing even when you're not paying attention to it, that beats your heart even when you're unconscious and asleep, right? We can just relax so much that we can be laughed. And when we have that experience and we sort of surrender to it and we just sit with it and enjoy it, it's pure pleasure. and it's fun and it's enlightening, and it will teach us so much about ourselves.
And
So
that's
this is,
so important for brain health. Like to be mentally healthy is a big part of that, of course, and emotionally healthy. But when you're saying that, because all of the endorphins and the dopamine and all the other things that come about when you're feeling happy and good, that is good for your physical brain, much beyond the emotional aspect.
yeah, you mentioned some of the quote unquote happy hormones, the dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins, all of these get stimulated for production when we're laughing. Also, our cortisol levels drop, so we have less stress. So there's changes that occur within us really automatically simply by laughing. And that's really just scratching the surface. And, for me, in the earlier days where I was, really immersed in hypnosis and laughter yoga, those two things in the beginning were so much about like sharing what I was taught. And then I kind of went beyond that, and now it's sharing what I've discovered.
Perfect. I have so many business coaches over the years, and they all say that's that one thing that you have that's different from everyone else. And you've obviously found that wonderful thing is within you, right? That's different from everyone else. And it's your perspective that it's so freeing when you find that. Yeah, that's enough to make you laugh right there, because you've actually found that thing that makes you different from everybody else.
And in one of life's beautiful paradoxes, this unique thing that you're suggesting I found within me is also within everyone. And so my role, I won't tell you the whole story, but there's a quote that I encountered years ago that was part of a pivotal experience for me. And the quote may have come from Osho. It's not clear. Like, we'll just say it's unknown who said this, but you are all Buddhas pretending not to be, and it is my job to expose you. And that is how I think about my role in life. And so, yes, I may have a unique perspective, and I use it to help people look within and discover their own unique perspective through something that we all have in common. And that is this birthright of infinite laughter, already always there. And if you explore it, you will find if it's true about laughter, it's true about life.
Yes, I truly believe that. Yeah. And I love that you said that quote about Buddha. I've heard that before too, and I also don't know who did it, but it is so true. We are all these wonderful, magnificent beings with all these, like you said, birthright. I just did an article on hugging, and hugging. There's some science that shows that we really need to be able to be even nominally healthy to hug 4 times a day. That's like imagine they do scientific studies on this stuff. And then to be healthy, like to progress beyond just existing, to be feeling healthy, is you need 8 hugs a day. And if you want to thrive, you need 12 hugs a day. And as I was preparing for this interview with you, I thought, is it the same with laughter? Do we need to do it more than once a day? Is there a threshold of when how much we should be laughing?
Maybe my next innovation will have to be some kind of mechanism for counting laughs. Like, I don't know how you do that.
To me, it would be how much my stomach hurts when I'm finished. Is that a good laugh?
Yeah, laughing is a cardio and a core workout. And so when people are new to this inside out laughter or intentional laughter, they sometimes do feel, well, first of all, people feel challenged in all sorts of ways when they're new to this idea. And it's beautiful to help people through that. And one of those early challenges is sometimes it's discomfort in the belly, but it's just as it would be if you were starting any other kind of exercise that's using muscles you haven't used in a long time.
That's kind of sad to think that we have muscles that we haven't used for a long time, and they have to do with laughter.
Well, it's just true. Like it just is. Like, I mean, you can perceive that as sad. I understand that perspective. You could perceive it as an opportunity. As well.
Yeah, and I knew you were going to say that. I just knew you were going to say that. Grab it as an opportunity. So,
yeah.
Go ahead. You were going to say something.
I was just going to say that, you know, one of the things that laughter has helped me learn is that neither words nor experiences have inherent meaning, that we make up all meaning through thought.
That's absolutely true. Yes. Yes. We create, and thoughts can be so challenging, like we've heard a lot of the word fear in the last 2 years. And most of our fears are really just those thoughts in our head, like disrupting. They're not real. They're just thoughts. And if we can turn those around, like I've had to really practice myself on turning those thoughts around. And when you just said about the laughter, about being real, to me, that makes a lot of sense to use that notion that joy is real. You can express that.
Yeah. Every breath is an opportunity to laugh.
Sure.
Especially when you approach laughter as the sound of joyful breathing. So you can just settle in and laugh and make sounds. And maybe we need to do that so that you can understand in your body, in your own experience, what I'm talking about. And it's not just talking.
Let's go. Let's do it.
So just take a deep breath in and let it out with a sound like maybe ha, and then just let it get faster and faster, and just relax and let it come out from within. It's already there. You don't really need any more instruction than that. It's just more like an invitation. But let's see what happens. If it's difficult, we can, address whatever comes up.
So just a nice deep breath and exhale with a ha ha or a ha.
Yeah. I would say start with one long ha, and then like that same length of time, however long your breath is, do it again, but divide it into 2 ha's, and then 3 ha's, and then 4 ha's. And before you know it, it's laughter. It's laughter.
Okay, everybody watching, I want you to do this with us, because this is the reason we're doing this, is to help you learn how to belly laugh, to enjoy a belly laugh, and to be healthier and have your brain happier. So you're going to do it with me. Promise me you'll do it with me. Okay, I'm going to take a deep breath.
Yeah, good. It helps that you smile too. Now 2 ha's.
Okay, now 3.
Really feel it pushing forcefully up from your diaphragm.
Okay. But I can't stop at 4 now. Okay.
Yeah, that's the point. That's the whole point. Just let it rip.
Oh, what a wonderful thing to just do that. So this is a contagious thing. Definitely contagious.
Oh yeah. Laughter is more contagious than any virus, with symptoms you can always see and feel.
I love there was some time ago, there was on YouTube, this guy who got on a subway or a bus or something, and he just started laughing. And
the Bodhisattva in the metro.
Yeah.
Classic video.
It was so amazing to see the responses of people. They're trying not to pay attention, and then then they can't help themselves. They just have to laugh.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So do you ever find yourself doing that, like where you're in a public place and you might just see what you can do to get people to laugh?
Yeah. Well, on the first day of 2016, I started a daily video series that I committed to hosting for a year, and it ended up going for almost 3.5 years. It was called Daily Laughers. And so every day for 3.5 years, I made a laughter demonstration video. In the first year, I laughed with people from all 50 United States and 54 other countries. And then, like I said, I escaped. I traveled around the world teaching laughnosis. And then I ended up settling in Vietnam for almost 2 years. And so I've laughed everywhere you can imagine, on trains and buses and in parks and, just in restaurants, like anywhere that I go, I'm not, afraid or ashamed or embarrassed or anything about laughing. And so now, even still, for the Laughter Gym, this is a daily Zoom call with people around the world who laugh with me. We're still laughing every day. I'm not making the videos anymore, but it's just live, real-time laughter. And, a lot of for it, and it's at 9:30 in the morning for me here in Melbourne, Australia. And so a lot of days I'm at home in front of my computer for the Laughter Gym, but some days I've got to be out. And so I have no reservations about being on a bus or a train or whatever and laughing. Like,
awesome. You must give so much joy around the world. You must give so much joy on the buses and so forth in Melbourne and wherever you are, and just because people wouldn't expect it. Do they laugh with you?
I have gotten people to laugh with me, of course, and it's just an invitation. Like, I don't make people laugh.
No.
And I don't recommend it. A common question that I hear is, how do you make yourself laugh? And that's a real misunderstanding. Like, there's no forcing it. There's no making yourself laugh. Just allowing the laughter that's already there inside you to come out. And so that contagion that you mentioned already, that does all the heavy lifting, if you could call it that. It's not really heavy.
Sure. No, not at all. So I love that idea, though, of the breath of doing that, because for many people, like especially this last couple of years, things seem so serious, and you might not really have a reason that you think you don't have a reason to laugh. But by breathing like you showed us, that was amazing. Because I can see, we meditate, we do, chanting or toning. I'm a musician, so I do, the toning and that sort of thing for my own meditation. But it's so easy to just transfer that, to transmute it perhaps to laughing rather than just the deep breathing. I love that.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. and some people don't love it at first. And when I said before that if it's true about laughter, it's true about life, this is part of how my work as a coach has evolved. It's that I've seen whatever a person perceives as getting in the way of their ability to just allow that laughter that's within them to come out. Whatever that is, however they might articulate and explain that it doesn't feel right, or I've got this resistance, or whatever it is, that is showing up elsewhere in their life. And so to be able to identify it and kind of deconstruct it and understand how thought is absolutely creating all of the perception that you're having around, why is this difficult? Why is this uncomfortable? Whatever. The thoughts that you become aware of will help you unpack and sort of clear out whatever's getting in your way in the other areas of your life where you encounter the same exact internal resistance or obstacle. And that's what I mean when, if it's true about laughter, it's true about life. Actually, that's only half of what I mean. The other half is when you laugh on purpose and you just sit with that experience day after day after day, you'll discover that laughter is one of many different birthrights that you have unlimited access to in unlimited amounts. So it's the same with confidence and resilience and curiosity and spontaneity and playfulness and creativity. All of these gifts that we're born with, that we can see babies putting on display before they know how to talk, before they know how to make sense of what's funny, they're laughing.
Yes.
Right. And all those other gifts are there in infinite amounts straight from the beginning. And if you watch babies, you'll see evidence of this. If you look at your own experience all throughout your life, you'll discover that you have always had all of these gifts within you. And laughter, it can be a way of kind of unlocking that for you.
You must be an awesome coach. I can do, yeah. I mean, I'm a coach too, but it's, of course, things tend to get a little bit serious when you're talking about dementia. But I can see how you can take something that is so like in your face, like we see it every day, but you're turning it around and making us aware of it. All of those wonderful things. Talking about babies, you know, the idea that I'm writing a book right now called The Musical Brain, and a big part of brain health with respect to music is dancing. And when you were talking about babies smiling and laughing and doing all these other things, dancing is one of the things they also love to do. And the joy that you see, you know, that makes me laugh. It makes me happy to watch videos of babies dancing. How weird is that? But I love it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, there's tons of videos on YouTube of babies laughing and dancing and stuff like that. It's I think kind of universally appealing to see that sort of thing. And I remember about a year and a half ago or so, I learned a Russian word. I don't know if I can pronounce it properly. I think it's something like astranyany, something like that. And it means to make the familiar unfamiliar. And that's what's happened with my exploration of laughter. It's like everybody knows what it's like to laugh, but if we take this familiar thing and we kind of have a whole new approach to exploring it, and it actually becomes unfamiliar again, or maybe not again, I don't know if it ever was before, but if we allow this familiar thing to become unfamiliar to us and we just keep exploring it, it will reveal amazing insights about who we really are and how life works.
Oh, I love that. And, you know, I'm thinking when you're saying that, because I always tell people to learn new things, to explore things in a new way. Okay, folks, here's a brain tip. Explore laughter as an unfamiliar thing. Analyze it, look into it, see how you respond.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't use the word analyze necessarily.
That makes sense.
I would say explore and experiment.
Experiment. I like that much better. Yes, much better.
And when you explore and experiment and just notice, like you don't have to make it happen and you don't have to do anything. It's absolutely about being.
Like mindfully, it's a mindful attention to it, right? It's kind of like mindfulness.
Well, I understand why it sounds like that because you have that frame of reference. Right. But what I'm saying is take the familiar, what you already know, mindfulness, and let's make it unfamiliar because it's not exactly like anything else. You may start out with looking for, you know, what does this remind me of? What is this similar to? And then you go beyond that. You just explore and experiment beyond that. And you discover all sorts of new and different things. And you don't have to do anything about that. It's really about being, not doing.
I love that. Being. Many of us don't know how to just be anymore. I love that idea of just kind of being, exploring. I like that word very much, exploring and experimenting. So Dave, how can people work with you to get more into this wonderful, wonderful space?
Yeah, so davebermancoaching.com is my website, and the homepage gives a little bit of an overview of this inside out understanding, the idea of the mental immune system and the nature of thought. And it points people to the Laughter Gym, how you can sign up for that, and other programs that I have, and also working with me privately. So I do one-on-one work, I do group work, cool. I do corporate work, And I've written several books and created all sorts of training programs. The Laughnosis training is just one of them, which feels a little outdated even at this point, given how my kind of journey and exploration has continued onward. But yeah, it's all, you can find it all through DaveBermanCoaching.com.
I'll make, this will definitely be in the show notes. But when you say it feels outdated for you, but for those of us who are just starting, it's going to feel brand new and exciting, something to explore and experiment with. Yeah, Dave, this has been wonderful. Let's have one more big laugh. Thank you so much. You know, everybody watching this, this interview kept me going over a very rough weekend, this past weekend, with stuff that was happening here on the property. And every time something was going wrong, I was thinking, I'm going to talk to this guy and I'm going to learn how to laugh even more. And I wish I would have talked to you before this weekend, because that deep breathing and letting the ha-has out would have really helped. But thank you. So, before we go though, I have another question. The mental immune system, you said, what did you mean by that? Because I meant to ask that earlier.
Sure. We as humans have many built-in autocorrect functions. So for example, if you try to hold your breath until you pass out, do you think you could do that? No. What will happen? What do you know intuitively will happen?
You'll start breathing.
Yeah, you'll gasp. At some point, you'll just gasp and start breathing, right? Now, you might be able to pull an all-nighter one night. Maybe you could go without sleep for 48 hours, maybe. But if you tried to stay awake indefinitely, what do you reckon will happen?
Oh, you go crazy. And you can't do it. You'll sleep. You'll
fall asleep, right?
Yeah.
So these are examples of what I call autocorrect, right? The body just has these built-in autocorrect mechanisms. Regarding the mind, it is our natural default state to be calm and peaceful and tranquil and to have a quiet mind. But that's not the experience that most of us have most of the time, because we're getting in the way of the mind getting quiet on its own. We try to think our way out of thought-generated problems because we just don't realize that's what we're doing. And laughter has helped me see, and so many people have said this to me after laughing for the first time. Wow, my mind got so quiet. Yeah, it's awesome that you noticed that. The next thing is to really discover that laughter does not quiet the mind. Laughter helps you notice the mind quiets itself. That is the mental immune system.
Very cool. Thank you so much. That makes a lot of sense. Folks, DaveBermanCoaching.com. I'm sure there are many things that Dave can help you with. And again, thank you so much for joining me from so far away.
Yeah, it's all part of the conspiracy of blessings, Kate. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. Bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you to everyone for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to Brain Health Matters so you'll always have the latest information and access to interviews with experts who can help you nurture and protect your brain for a future filled with happy memories.